Okay, so it's been roughly a week since I first visited the Tulip slaughterhouse, and I'm revisiting there today because I saw somebody had stuck some flowers.
Half a mile, turn right to merge onto M60.
Gosh, Apple Maps so rude. Because I'd seen that somebody had stuck some flowers on the fence when I visited, and those flowers were pretty withered and dead. And so I have a couple of reasons for going back. One is to replace those flowers, and we're not doing a pig save today, but I'm with Naomi, obviously, because I'm not the one driving. Yeah, she's recently decided to go vegan. She's been vegetarian for about a year, and she also wanted to witness what it's like outside of the slaughterhouse. We're not going to be stopping any trucks or anything today because that's quite dangerous to do without any high visibility jackets. So yeah, we're driving half a mile away from where we live to Ashton to visit Tulip Slaughterhouse, because when Naomi saw my video, well, the footage of me stood outside the slaughterhouse, it is genuinely one of the most powerful experiences I've ever had, and you know, I think it would be good. Don't know if good's the word. Let's go good for a new vegan to have a similar experience. But yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to you when we get there because I feel like I'm distracting Naomi by vlogging right now. Okay, so we're round the corner just now from Tulip. Naomi, how do you feel going into it?
I don't know.
Talk up.
A bit scared. I don't know. It's just quite a big place, isn't it? So
yeah.
It's just a bit daunting, I suppose.
And the slaughterhouse walls have like barbed wire and spikes going over the top of it. Yeah, it just makes it extra ugly and daunting. But I mean, we're close. People only visit this place. Activists only visit this place because we want to make the world a better place. It's not like we wake up in the morning and think, oh, how can we torture ourselves? How can we emotionally drain ourselves? We're here by choice. We're here because, you know, we want to, and because these individuals die and nobody pays any respect to them. In fact, people eat them. But yeah, the smell's about to hit us pretty soon.
This is the first bit of activism I've done, isn't it?
That's not true.
It is.
You filmed spilling the soybeans with me.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's true. Yeah. Look at those fences.
It's like a horror film, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah,
It's not funny, but I think I'm just like nervous laughing.
Yeah. So there's a sign that says "Welcome to Tulip." Very welcoming. There's pigs in that truck. In that three-tiered truck, who have, I don't know, maybe half an hour left of their lives. It's real. So where we're walking now, it's just an open public footpath. People walk down here with their dogs, who they love, and people walk down here with their children, just, you know, past this otherwise quite peaceful setting. But to the left of me, over 2,000 pigs die a day, and I just got the smell again.
I can smell it now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty awful, isn't it?
Oh god. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was why I responded that way in the video. But yeah, like, it's crazy. This is nature trail exists, but then just to the left of me there's an actual horror story unfolding.
God.
It's actually insane. Maybe they're not killing as many today because it doesn't seem as hectic as it did when I last came, but doesn't matter how many they're killing, just one's too many. At this slaughterhouse, they use the RSPCA approved method. They put 6 pigs into, it's almost like a Ferris wheel, and then just into one cage of the Ferris wheel, and then the pigs get lowered down into this pit full of CO2, and the CO2 reacts with the mucus in their eyes and in their chest, and it takes them maybe 30 seconds to die, and because it's reacting with the mucus in their eyes and in the respiratory system, it burns them, it turns into carbonic acid, and so they burn to death for maybe 30 seconds is how long it takes them to die. And so this is the RSPCA approved, certified humane method to kill. And I mean, if we did this to humans, like we did this to humans at some point, and it was rightly so labelled one of the worst things to happen in human history. And but when it happens to non-humans, it's humane. Okay, so we're going to talk about like how it's made us feel and stuff, being there. When I first went, I noticed that, well, I felt that I was being, I'm not sure, a bit more irritable than I would otherwise be.
Yeah.
Just being here, because I don't know, it's quite emotionally draining as well.
It's not a nice place to be, is it? It's not a fun experience.
Like I found myself at work the next day, just like, I don't really know how to describe how I felt, just like thinking about it, and like because when we went today, I mean, that you could hear screams, but I mean it was, I think there were way more pigs in there when I first visited, and I could just hear the screams, just like playing. I've never heard anybody scream like that before.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's like a horror show, isn't it? It's just like, it actually sounds like human screams.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Do you mean the reverse of that? It's worse than you thought.
It's worse than I, it's worse than I thought. Yeah, worse than I thought it was going to be.
But yeah, like I could hear that in my head, just at work, just sitting down.
God, yeah.
Just because, you know, it was a sound I'd heard audio recordings of it, but I hadn't heard what actually, I don't know, it's different hearing it in a recording to being there and hearing it.
Yeah, it makes you feel more involved, doesn't it?
Yeah. It highlights that it's actually real. Were you surprised? Like, how did you feel about it?
I think it just makes you realise like the process of it all. Like, people look at bacon and just see that as like food, but when you're actually there and like actually hearing how it's made, it just makes it like more real and just more like distressing, and it was just quite like just not very nice to be around, and that's what people are paying to obviously support that. And I think if a lot of people that went there that did eat, you know, animals, they would change their mind, because it's actually making it more real that like bacon on your plate isn't just food, it's actually a being that's alive, and it's gone through this, it's gone through that to get there. It's not just
it's not like picked it out of field. And when I first went there, the place I work at serves a lot of like hot dogs and stuff, and it made it hard not to resent the people around me. I mean, I need to keep I was able to keep at the forefront of my mind that these people have just grown up in a society where it is completely normal to eat animals and their secretions, to the point where people see you as weird and a little bit extreme when you tell them that you don't also do the same thing. But yeah, I was like, there was this one family that came in with 2 children, and the children were eating hot dogs, and I'm fairly sure there was pulled pork on top of the hot dogs as well. And it was hard to look at those children eating that without thinking back to the faces that I'd seen the day previous. Did you notice any changes had you noticed, I mean, it's fine if not, but had you noticed any changes in me when I'd come back?
I think you just suddenly became like a bit more passionate about it. Like, you were passionate anyway.
Yeah.
But I think when I was watching like edit the actual video, you just seemed more into it, because you've obviously experienced what they're experiencing right in that moment. You just seemed a bit down, to be honest. Like, you just sort of just seemed a bit down and irritable, like you were saying. But I suppose it's something that you have to experience, isn't it, to see.
It's so important that people who,
I don't know, anybody, like even if you eat animals, you need to go to a save. Not to like, learn where your food comes from and all that, because I don't think that's necessarily important, because people know, but people need to make the connection. People need to understand that like they are the reason that those pigs are in there. They're the reason that those pigs are dying. And I think that's why people get so passionate and sometimes angry about it, because it is the people that they know and love are the ones who are paying for these animals to die. And if you're an activist, I recommend you go also, because it gives you, like you said, like a second wind almost.
Yeah.
Like it ups how passionately you feel about this, because you see these animals in the last moments of their life.
I think anyone would feel like passionate about that. I don't think anyone who's a good person would stand there and go, well, that's okay.
Yeah.
Because if you're a good person, like you wouldn't like.
Nobody feels comfortable with it. Like when I do Earth Things experience, I stand on the street and I show people slaughterhouse footage. Even the ones who say, "Oh yeah, that's okay," like they don't mean it.
No, they just can't be bothered to argue.
Yeah, exactly.
I think. Yeah.
Like I'll pry a little bit, and they'll open up a bit. I think maybe it's always men as well, and it's always, I think it's just like the social conditioning that we're not allowed to be sensitive at all, that we have to be, hard on the outside. I think that's purely it, because I've never spoken to a woman about it and they'd be like, oh yeah, this is okay. Apart from that dairy farmer, watch the link up here. Go on, insufferable person. But yeah, most people don't feel okay with it, and I think if it makes you feel that way looking at it happen, that says a lot about that we probably shouldn't be eating. And if you are a vegan but you're not active, please, I cannot ask enough, please become a vegan activist on some level. There's many forms of activism. You don't need to do what I do, but you need to be an advocate for veganism, because if not, I'm not saying that you're okay with it, you're obviously not, because you're vegan yourself, but veganism itself is a non-action. You're just not participating in something. We need to do our best to stop other people from also doing the same. And imagine, remember back to how good it was when you first went vegan, how much better you felt about yourself. Try and instill that onto other people. And then they'll feel the same way. It's just that, they just don't realise it yet. I
think that's just a bad stereotypical view of vegans. They're crazy and they push their opinions on people. And to be honest, that's what I thought of.
Yeah, no, same.
People, but there's so many benefits to it, and not benefits, but so many reasons if you just look into it.
Yeah. It's
just a matter of just being educated on it, and then it makes you change.
For sure.
Your mind, definitely.
It's every meal doesn't start out with animal products. Every meal starts off just as a concept. Yeah. You have to then build up on it.
I think people just worry we're not going to be able to eat anything, but we're having a roast dinner after this.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can still have a roast dinner with sausages and potatoes. There's lots of alternatives that taste a lot nicer as well. So
in my lifetime, I think I've eaten maybe, let's assume 10, and that's a pretty high estimate, 10 different species of animal in my lifetime.
That's a lot. That's quite
adventurous.
You ate a rabbit, didn't you? Before?
I did back when I was younger.
No, I didn't do that.
But yeah, I've eaten maybe 10 different species of animal in my lifetime, and there's over 22,000 different species of edible plant. You're not missing out on anything. But yeah, we can't be complicit in this. It gives you a new wind for your activism, I think.
Yeah.
But have you got any other thoughts?
No, I think that's
okay. Do you know my outro?
No, I don't know your outro.
Do you not watch my videos?
I do, but it's like, watch the next video.
No!
I don't know.
God, okay.
I do watch it, but I don't know off by heart.
Yeah,
I'm not that
whatever.
much. I'm not like your #1 fan.
You should be. If you're not, who will be? Okay, so I think we're going to leave that one there. If you agreed with us, if you disagreed with us, let us know in the comment section down below the video. If you're more subtle than that, you can leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down. But yeah, this has been a Coli video.
And I'll talk to you next time.
God, why such a bad presenter?